Good morning and welcome to the regular meeting of City Council on Monday, November 10th, 2025. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland.
Here.
Mr. Coghill.
Here.
Ms. Gross.
Here.
Mr. Mosley.
Here.
Mrs. Kill-Smith.
Here.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Here.
Mrs. Warwick.
Here.
Mr. Wilson.
Here.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Here.
9 members present.
Thank you. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. In accordance with the Home Rule Charter, our first order of business will be Mayor Ed Gainey's 2026 budget address, and will Councilman Mosley and Councilman Warwick please escort the mayor into the chambers.
Say it. You ready? Let's go get it. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, and thank you. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Council President Lavelle, Council President Pro Tem Wilson, Finance Chair Strasburger, members of City Council, and my fellow Pittsburghers. Thank you for joining me here today to discuss the state of our beloved city. When I first stood in the chambers 4 years ago, we faced a choice: shrinking back into the comfortable habits of the past, or do the harder work of reinvesting and reinventing a city that will work for everyone. We chose the harder path. We chose people over politics. We chose action over excuses. And because of those choices, our city is stronger, more fair, and more resilient than when I walked into this office. I came into office inheriting urgent problems and limited trust in city government. We found departments stretched thin, aging infrastructure, and neighborhoods that had been overlooked for far too long. We didn't have time to kick anything down the road. We confronted all of it directly, with urgency, with planning, and with the belief that good government means doing the basics well and doing them for everybody. It's been quite a journey, and you know that. Yet together we created a revolutionary change in how the city sees one another, how we see one another, and in how city workers are empowered to serve with pride and purpose. We built a culture of respect, understanding, and accountability. Residents came to see that their mayor wouldn't only hear their concerns, but also stood beside them in their neighborhoods. To make government more accessible, I created City in the Streets. To bring department directors, bureau chiefs, and my incredible neighborhood service team into communities where we provided services and heard the concerns firsthand. We took City Hall directly to 17 extreme and high needs neighborhoods and attended over 600 community meetings across the city where we solved problems, set priorities, and built stronger connection between residents and their city. Now listen, this is important. Not everything we tried succeeded, but each mistake or setback became a stepping stone for growth, a lesson in how to do better and be better. But as you've heard me say before, I told my team to fall in love with adversity. Fall in love with adversity. To roll up your sleeves and to face challenges head on. My team worked diligently to build a city for all, one where hatred and division could not take root. Where safety and opportunity belongs to everyone in this city. Where safety and opportunity belongs to everyone in this city. We created new pathways for every resident to thrive. Today, I'm proud to say that as I prepare to leave office, I leave our city in a stronger position. Even amidst the challenging times ahead, we built a government guided not by outside interests, but by the steadfast belief that what is best for the people of our city must always come first. We must always put the people of our city first, not certain neighborhoods, not certain individuals. Everybody should have a right in this city to come first. My budget proposal for the coming year seeks to preserve the progress we've made over the past 4 years while continuing to acknowledge and prepare for challenging financial waters ahead. To address the long-term effects of a changed real estate market post-COVID and the structural challenge of Pennsylvania's property assessment system, as well as the unprecedented retreat of the federal government from fulfilling its obligation to the American people. My budget proposal includes modest and targeted reductions in spending while avoiding any layoffs, avoiding any cuts to core services, and avoiding any increases in taxes. Our proposed budget eliminates dozens of vacant positions, some of which have been vacant for years and are no longer necessary, and others that were part of initiatives that we scaled back or did not have adequate time to be able to fully implement. We also cut $3.5 million in non-personnel spending, tightened our belts where appropriate without depriving city departments of the resources they need to serve our residents. We must tighten our belts for two primary reasons. One is a debt cliff ending in 2026 and the ongoing loss of real estate tax revenue created by the common level ratio court ruling. Those are the two things. One, the debt cliff is a product of COVID-19 pandemic and has been a challenge that my administration has warned of since taking office. We've been warning about this. In the summer of 2020, with the economy shut down, tax revenue plummeting, and the prospect of federal aid uncertain, the city leaders at that time made the responsible choice to refinance debt payment, pushing out the repayment until 2025 and 2026. However, when federal aid did ultimately arrive, it was conditioned on support for the operating budget ending in 2024. The year before, the refinance payments would reach their peak. This has meant that this year and next, the city must make significant debt payment at the exact same time we no longer have COVID relief fund to cushion other areas that we know about. Luckily, our 5-year fiscal financial planning ordinance allowed my administration to see this challenge coming right from the start. And each budget we have produced has been structured to account for these lean years. We talked about it and we accounted for these lean years. Today, I am happy to report that in 2025, we have met the mark and remain on track to end this year with a modest surplus. My proposed 2026 budget is similarly designed to guide us through the end of the debt cliff, and we can see a significant improvement in the availability of funds beginning in 2027. Now, second one, declining real estate tax revenue, on the other hand, isn't just a short-term setback. It's a shift with lasting implications for this city's financial future. Due to a court ruling on how property assessment reductions are calculated in appeal cases, we are projecting annual decline in property tax revenue for the first time since the closure of steel mills. Unlike the debt cliff, the challenge does not have a definite endpoint and will continue to grow until a county reassessment is completed. Absent that reassessment, we will eventually need to make sure severe adjustments, more than I propose today, are looked at in the next administration. We must continue to keep that forward. However, we are once again aided by the city code, which requires us to build a 5-year fiscal plan. This has been in place since the city's exit from financial distress status and requires us to think ahead when making budgetary decisions. The 5-year plan allows us to see incoming challenges well in advance so that we can adjust for them gradually. Why is that important? Because without disruptive shock to city government, we can manage effectively. In the case of this year's budget, my team has been able to produce a spending plan that maintains financial balance through all 5 years of the forecast without having to resort to dramatic spending cuts or a tax increase. Each year, the incoming administration will have to closely monitor the out years of the plan to determine the course that needs to be maintained. And it is important to remember that at any point, a reassessment could reset the common level ratio calculations, stop the annual decline in real estate tax collection, and prevent the need for more disruptive adjustments. This is why I charge this council and the incoming administration to prioritize advocating for state legislation to modernize and improve our Commonwealth's law governing property assessment, to avoid the need for more dramatic action now, and to prevent future generations from being challenged similarly. For my part, I pledge to work with council between now and the end of the year to pass my longtime owner-occupied protection bill, ensuring that our most vulnerable homeowners are protected from the impact of a needed reassessment. I am proud of my department directors for thinking critically about how each of their teams operate and how they could operate better. Our city leaders used a mix of innovation and efficiencies, many brought to light by employees to review and revise their existing budgets to maintain and improve services for residents and visitors in our city. In some cases, changes to existing positions will allow important programs to continue. In others, directors thought outside the box to capitalize on relationships with the Commonwealth. Our City Council has already approved the partnership between the Bureau of Emergency Medical Services and the State Department of Human Services to tap into additional revenue related to ambulance transports. This program will go live next year, so my budget directs these funds right back into EMS for staffing and vehicle needs. Public Works is doing something similar with state funding that is targeted for our roads. They are piloting a new initiative to use some of these funds for the needs of our fleet. On the capital side, this year's OMB fleet team conducted a comprehensive condition assessment of our fleet for the first time. Based on this analysis, they reworked all of our vehicle data to give me a list of cars, trucks, and heavy equipment that were at the top of their list for replacement. Across the funding sources, we have identified 50 vehicle replacements, addressed critical gaps in our fleet. We don't have a lot of new state or federal money scheduled for 2026, but our project managers are still working hard at finishing projects that are already underway. Residents will see the completion of constructions at several parks and public safety facilities next year. We expect to receive $17 million in federal funding from the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development to go to community projects that specifically help our most vulnerable residents. On behalf of the city, my administration joined other local governments this summer in a federal lawsuit to resist Trump's attacks on community development funding. The courts granted us an injunction, and for now, our programs can continue. To protect our residents who are most in need, the incoming administration must keep fighting in court so that these programs can continue without interruption. I want to take this opportunity to commend the staff of the Department of Finance and the Office of Management and Budget for their extraordinary diligence they have shown guiding us through this challenging period. Thank you. Thank you. They have faced an enormous task and tackled it with professionalism, creativity, and above all else, a deep empathy for the public servants and residents who are most directly impacted by our spending decisions. Balancing the financial bottom line with the real-world impact of our decisions is no small feat. We did not shrink from the challenges and put our communities and their needs at the forefront of financial decision-making. Budgets and balance sheets illustrate part of the narrative, but the real story lies in what our investments represent. Let's take a moment to reflect on the purpose behind what we've done and the progress it has birthed across this city. You gotta have some water up here, y'all, you know what I mean? Our first major challenge and opportunity came at the very start of my administration with the collapse of the Fern Hollow Bridge. That moment defined how we were governed. We govern with urgency, collaboration, and accountability. Through strong partnerships and relentless teamwork, we rebuilt that bridge in record time. But more importantly, we built a new system to ensure no resident will ever again have to fear crossing one of our bridges. That investment has paid off because today we have no open bridges in failing condition. Let me say that again. No open bridges in failing condition. Today, with continued investment in budget maintenance and infrastructure in both the operating and capital budgets, this 2026 proposal keeps that promise to make our city safer, stronger, and better connected. The continued funding of the Bridge Asset Management Program ensures that our bridges are regularly inspected and maintained with strong systems in place to keep them safe and reliable for everyone who depends on them. Some of this work is now being done in-house, thanks to Domi's new bridge team. Thank you, Domi. The method we apply to evaluate, maintain, and repair our bridges is now being applied to all of our infrastructure, from retaining walls to sidewalks, to sliding hillsides to our fleet. We know that catching up from years of deferred maintenance is a daunting and costly task, but having a clear understanding of our needs enables us to make the most effective investments with the resource available to us right now. We are also proud of the progress that's made in the Office of Community, Health, and Safety, which has grown from a vision and a handful of employees to a robust alternative response office deploying 50 social workers and community health professionals to assist our neighbors in crisis. Our Roots team has assisted hundreds of unhoused people compassionately and effectively, and today we stand as a national model for ending unsheltered homelessness and returning public space to their intended use. We are also a national leader in law enforcement assisted diversion, which allows nonviolent offenders to avoid incarceration and get their life back on track. We analyze our 911 data to identify frequent users of emergency services and have helped more than 1,000 unique individuals to get the support they need. And because we are committed to continual improvement, we have recently shifted from a co-response to a crisis response model to deploy social workers along with our police to scenes of violence and trauma while giving social workers more time and flexibility to meet residents in crisis where they are. By the time I took office, 2 years of a global pandemic and its new realities of quarantine, social distancing, and remote work had taken its toll. 2 trends had taken root. First, a growing homeless population had been pushed out of emergency shelters and onto our streets. Second, many employers and employees were questioning when, how, or even whether to return to the office. When combined, a vicious cycle had emerged, where each trend fed off the other. So we invested heavily in focusing the energy of our Roots team to working with the unhoused who were concentrated in our Golden Triangle. Only by meeting the needs of the unhoused members of our community as part of an all-of-the-above approach to public safety would allow us to lead a reinvestment strategy to help transition downtown into a vibrant, mixed-use neighborhood. Working hand in hand with my administration, the public sector, corporate community, foundations, cultural institutions, and downtown serving nonprofits came together in ways not seen in decades. Our street-level intervention allowed us to reduce actual and perceived safety and cleanliness challenges and to break that vicious cycle that was preventing employers from calling their employees back to the office. While that work was taking place, we created an ambitious but achievable plan to convert unoccupied office buildings to residential uses. And reinvesting in downtown public realm to create a more inviting and multi-use experience for workers, residents, and visitors alike. There were some difficult choices to make along the way. It was a choice to lead with compassion and understanding for our unhoused neighbors when many called for their circumstances to be criminalized. It was a choice to ensure new housing downtown included affordable units. Not just luxury condos. And the results have been undeniable. A $600 million reinvestment plan, over 1,000 planned units of new housing, Market Square renovation, the new Arts Landing Park, a police substation, public restrooms, the 500 and 500 initiative, and the NFL draft. In the last 4 years, we have brought downtown back from the brink and positioned it for a stable and successful future. While addressing vacant and underutilized properties in downtown is critical, doing the same throughout our neighborhood is even more vital to the future of our city. The Land Bank always held the promise to serve as a pivotal tool for this work. However, despite the urgent need, it had not moved one single property in the first 8 years. As I have said before, these properties are a drain on the growth and vitality of the neighborhoods they occupy, are chronic threats to public health and safety, and deprive city government of much-needed revenue to support other basic services. That is why I'm so proud of the work we have done to begin unlocking the potential of the Land Bank. Thanks to the work of my administration, URA, the Land Bank Board, in particular, Councilman Lavelle, Wilson, and Mosley, and the Land Bank staff, the Land Bank has sold or is in the process of selling over 170 properties to expand community gardens and recreation spaces, support neighborhood businesses, and increase opportunities for affordable housing. And as I look forward to joining leaders from the county and PPS later this month to sign an intergovernmental cooperation agreement that fully secures their full participation in this work. That's amazing. Now, any of us who have been part of a community meeting know that engaging a single neighborhood on their shared vision for one project is incredibly hard work. Engaging the entire city on a shared vision to guide our city's growth through 2050, that is an entirely different ball game. However, I can't think of anything more important than ensuring that the growth of our city will be deeply rooted in the values of social, economic, and climate justice. The team in city planning has engaged with over 25,000 residents all over the city, pairing the experience and wisdom of our communities with the deep technical expertise to create the final plan, a document on schedule to be completed next year. This is an opportunity the city has never had, and I urge the next administration to embrace this work, to honor the voices contributed by so many of our neighbors, and to ensure that the future of our city has a place for everyone. Of course, the heart of any city is the public servants, the people who devote themselves to delivering essential services to residents. When we started, we encountered a workforce whose morale was unacceptably low and whose injury rate were unacceptably high. The two problems were not unrelated. In some departments, as many as 1 in 5 workers were off the job with a work-related injury, leaving their co-workers to accomplish just as much work, but with too few people. My administration chose to lift up the city workforce by prioritizing safety and by giving every worker the tools, trust, opportunity, and leadership they needed to succeed. We put safety first, demanding that workers take every incident seriously, analyzing its cause, and initiated preventive measures. In this way, we have dramatically reduced the number of days that workers are off on the job by over half in Department of Public Works and saved the city close to $5 million each year in workers' compensation. Attention to safety is not only a moral imperative. Full crews get the job done. One notable example is in our reactivated clean and lean program, where we have increased the number of properties we are able to address 5-fold, from 94 to 437, while reducing our cost per property by more than half. For years, we have fallen short of our budgeted number of paramedics, resulting in units taken out of service, forced overtime, and burnout for the EMS workforce. Under the leadership of Chief Amira Gilchrist, the first black and first woman chief of EMS, we created the Freedom House EMT Training Academy. We honor this legacy. Now listen, why we honor this legacy. Because without the historic contributions of the Freedom House Ambulance, there would be no EMS today. The Academy is a pathway for community members to earn a paycheck while training to be an emergency medical technician. Thanks to the innovative contract with the Medics Union, these individuals can now progress to advanced EMTs, and from there to paramedics. And we are happy to say that in the 2026, listen, we already said we had a difficult time ever meeting it. In 2026, we will reach budgeted numbers in this critical bureau for the first time. The successful career pipeline model, one that will replicate it in departments like DPW to allow frontline workers to learn the skills they need to take up higher paying positions like plumbers and carpenters. And in our Bureau of Police, seasoned officers are laser focused on mentoring potential recruits at every step of the training process, from application through testing and through the academy. This attention to recruit and train has been critical to filling 3 classes a year in our reopening to the police academy. I know my team gonna get upset right now, but that's cool. You know, they know I riff sometime anyway. But I want to thank the Pittsburgh Bureau of Police. I want to thank you. Yeah. You didn't have to believe in me, but you did. And I appreciate you for that. The administration also tackled violence in the black community through prevention and partnership. Our reauthorization of Stop the Violence Fund and ongoing investments in community-based organizations, including the largest grant awards in the history of the fund, continue to pave the way for those working on the front line to reduce violence and build safer neighborhoods. These organizations are not just recipients of grants, they are guardians of our communities, advocating for change and partnering in the ongoing effort to build a safer, more resilient city. Our violence prevention learning line, launched in the Hilltop communities, is connecting young people and families with real-time support. The Safe Passage program, expansion in PPS, has worked to interrupt the cycle of violence before it starts. These organizations work hand in hand with our Office of Community Services and Violence Prevention, the REACH team, and the officers in the Pittsburgh Bureau of Police. Together, these partnerships have led to an incredible result when we work together. Down 37%, one of the steepest declines in homicide death among our youth between the ages of 13 and 17, and one of the steepest in the United States, 37% reduction in homicide. And we can get excited and just think that's just about the numbers. But why this is so big to me, these are the lives saved, families kept intact, futures protected. While we have made great progress, we cannot stop here. Despite the overall decline in violence, stark disparities still remain. Black people still represent 85% of victims in both homicides and non-fatal shootings. Black men and boys, their families and communities bear the heaviest burden. talk about why. Correcting decades of disinvestment will take consistent and concentrated efforts over time to maintain these results. As a city, we must remain firm in our commitment to invest directly in these communities and in our public health approach to ending gun violence. Until we achieve the goal of zero gun violence deaths. The work of building a safer city doesn't just end with gun violence. In fact, the leading cause of death among all young men in our city is a crash on our right-of-ways. Alarming data like this is why we committed to Vision Zero initiative in 2024, a bold endeavor to end all traffic deaths and severe injuries in our city. We knew it would be hard work, but it's the kind of work worth doing because it saves lives. Our approach combines smarter infrastructure, better roads and designs, and upgrade signals with education, policy improvements, and investments in traffic safety. When fatal crashes occur, teams from across the city departments come together to analyze what happened and make the proactive changes to keep everyone safe. It's about enhancing mobility by protecting all road users. Over the last 4 years, we have committed $3.5 million to traffic calming with an additional $1.1 million proposed next year. While improving traffic safety is essential to building communities where residents feel secure, true security depends on having a stable place to call home. That's why we prioritize a people-centered response to our city's affordable housing crisis in a way that often puts us at odds with powerful development interests that have grown too comfortable with their outside influence on Grand Street. But our focus remained on delivering affordable housing for residents in this city. We made this conscious decision to dedicate and secure record levels of public resources to invest in our city's housing future. This included nearly $40 million in ARPA funds, a record 18 low-income housing tax credits awarded from the state over the last 3 funding cycles, and a $50 million Choice Neighborhood Implementation Grant from the federal government for Bedford dwellings. We made history by working with the URA to create the city's first ever affordable housing bond, a $32 million investment for our residents. 2 years ago, we said that this bond would allow us to produce or preserve more than 1,000 fully affordable homes over 3 years. And I'm proud to report that the URA is on track to meet that goal before the end of next year. Ensuring that every family has a place to call home in our most livable city. During my administration, we began the process of creating over 1,700 affordable units, which are completed, under construction, or in the process today, with another 1,300 affordable units in the pipeline. Thoughtful collaboration with our housing partners, community developers, and nonprofit organizations has allowed us to preserve existing affordable units, remove blight, and create new pathways for families, seniors, and young professionals to protecting everybody with good homes. Case in point, working with the URA, we implemented the revolutionary OWN PGH program that has helped put over 194 new homeowners, with about 88% being women or minority-headed households, and 76 being new residents, to our city on the pathway to generational wealth through home ownership. Choosing people over power will allow us to build a city where everyone, no matter their income, race, or circumstance, can find a place to call home. Allowing the private sector to continue business as usual is a different choice. A choice that allows for the continued displacement of our low-income Black and brown neighbors. For those that fight alongside us, and especially those that are not yet ready to abandon this fight, thank you. And remain confident that I will stand shoulder to shoulder with you. While we targeted resources to the development of new affordable housing, we also made sure to invest in the city's departments responsible for development of review and inspection. Over the past 4 years, we have worked closely with the teams in PLI, city planning, and DOMI to increase staffing levels, eliminate unnecessary permit and licenses, simplify applications, improve customer reportables, and finally open the one-stop PGH counter. These improvements have been important steps in making it easier for residents and business to get things done, and continuing to build upon the work will be needed as investment in the city grows. There was a lot of understanding concern coming out of the pandemic about development and construction activity slowing down. However, the city's on pace to see over $5 billion in total development since 2022, with last year representing high water marks for the city of $1.6 billion, and this year on track to reach $1.5 billion. With the groundwork established, with the improvements to the permitting process, our focus was naturally drawn to our procurement process. Every year, the city spends hundreds of millions of dollars purchasing goods and services that allow our city to function. But the city is only one part of the public sector economy in this region. When you add the purchasing power of Allegheny County, the Sports and Exhibition Authority, the Parking Authority, Pittsburgh Water, the Housing Authority, and the Urban Redevelopment Authority, along with the state and federal dollars that support major development, you begin to see the scale of influence that public institutions hold in shaping our local economy. Procurement is not only about transaction, but also about transformation. As policymakers and purchasers, we play a critical role in determining who has access to opportunity. From the beginning, I charged my team to lead by example. Every dollar we spend is a chance to build a fair and more competitive economy, to support good jobs, to strengthen local business ownership, and to reflect on our shared values. At the same time, we are facing national efforts to weaken or eliminate programs designed to ensure fair access to public contracting. The Trump administration is challenging disadvantaged business enterprise programs across the country. In response, my administration took a proactive and courageous stand. We joined the King County versus Turner case to defend our constitutional authority, to maintain and strengthen business diversity and other DEI programs here in our most livable city called Pittsburgh. We have also continued to advance the Pittsburgh's regional disparity study to strengthen the necessary legal foundations to support our business diversity programs. This landmark study, the first in over 20 years, joined by the largest consortium of public agencies in our history, will help us understand where disparities exist, how our marketplace is functioning, and the challenges and the changes necessary to ensure that our public spending is fair, competitive, and growth-oriented. We need to do that. Just last week, we announced new in-depth interviews and an online business survey to engage hundreds and ultimately thousands of businesses across our region, as well as our chambers of commerce, lenders, funders, and technical assistance partners to join in. While we look forward to the final results of the study, we did not wait to make the necessary changes. We strengthened internal standards for the preparation and advertisement of pre-bid meetings, expanded compliance and monitoring, updated contract language, and aligned our process with both dormant provisions of city code and best practices across this country. Earlier this year, we improved how we evaluate disadvantaged business participation on all invitation for bid projects, clarifying expectations and solicitation documents, tightening good faith standards, relieving bidders who meet the goals from providing additional paperwork, evaluating participation before, not after, selecting a winning bidder, and rejecting bids that fail to provide the required documents. We piloted these reforms on the Brighton Heights Healthy Activity Living Center project, and the results speak for themselves. Hey, listen to these results. Overall project participation, 34% DBE. General contractor, 18.2% combined MBE and WBE. Plumbing and HVAC, 25% combined MBE and WBE participation. Electrical, 100% combined MBE, WBE, and VOSB participation. These changes not only ensure fairness and honest competition, they also raise the bar on accountability and properly place economic inclusion as a requirement for how we evaluate bids. But success in our economy goes beyond which businesses get contracts. It's also about who has access to good jobs on the construction sites that public dollars fund. In October 2024, we announced the Regional Workforce Equity Agreement as a shared framework to expand opportunity for disadvantaged workers, strengthen apprenticeship pathways, and ensure job quality standards such as prevailing wage and anti-discrimination protection on publicly funded construction work. Since then, we have been hard at work implementing this framework and leading by example for our public partners across the region. Our first pilot project under this framework, the new Shenley Heights Pavilion at Robert E. Williams Memorial Park is now underway in partnership with our city departments, Partners for Work, and Partners for Good Government. My administration is taking the first steps that are necessary for our city to continue. I especially look forward to the completion of the disparity study in 2026, to its public release, and to seeing how each participating agency will use its recommendations to remove barriers, expand access, and ensure that minority, women, LGBTQIA, and veteran-owned businesses have real pathways to compete and succeed in both public and private contracting across this region. Now is the time for other public institutions, like Allegheny County, the Urban Redevelopment Authority, the Parking Authority, Pittsburgh Water, the Sports and Exhibition Authority, and the Housing Authority, to adopt and implement these models in their own procurement, construction, and development practices. We are leaving behind comprehensive and ready-to-use models that ensure publicly funded projects do more than produce buildings and infrastructures. It ensures that these investments build pathways, build skills, build wages, and build the future of the people who live in these communities to participate on these projects that will serve them. The work is not about checking boxes or meeting quotas. It is about creating fair access to opportunity. It is about building a competitive marketplace that reflects the talent of this region. It's about ensuring that public dollars contribute to the public good. Because when more of our businesses can grow, more of our people can work, and more of our neighborhoods can prosper, we become stronger for everyone. That's the city we want to build. For many years, the city's population did not grow. But last year, that changed. Our city grew. We grew in part because we opened the doors, our neighborhoods, and our hearts to new residents, new families, new immigrant communities that now call Pittsburgh home. Our first International Day Parade brought nearly 500 residents representing more than 30 national origins, marching through downtown with pride and joy. And in the following year, participation nearly doubled to more than 900 people representing 40 nations. And this year, our focus on expanding language access and immigrant engagement earned our city a 3-star certified welcoming destination, an achievement shared by only 37 cities in the United States. I look forward to celebrating this accomplishment at a convening next week with community partners, elected leaders, and organizations committed to ensuring that every resident can participate in shaping our shared future. As we emerge from COVID-19 pandemic, we recognized a major opportunity to reintroduce our city to the world. Working in partnership with Visit Pittsburgh and regional stakeholders, we developed a 10-year tourism plan that includes more than 40 strategies and 80 action steps to elevate the identity, culture, and vibrancy of our city and county. Importantly, this plan lifts up the African American heritage tourism, the LGBTQIA cultural experience, and the unique character of all 90 neighborhoods. And the world is going to take notice. Recently, National Geographic's named our city one of the best places in the world to travel in 2026. We are the only city in the United States, the only city in the United States to receive this honor. To support that goal, let me go back. Next year, Pittsburgh will host one of the largest sporting events in the world, the NFL Draft. Where we expect more than 700,000 visitors. Our responsibility is not only to showcase the beauty of our city, but also to ensure that our residents and small businesses benefit from this economic opportunity. To support that goal, we've placed legislation before City Council to update street vending zoning and business licensing policies. These changes will help cut outdated red tape, create more vibrant public space, and allow food trucks, pop-up markets, and neighborhood vendors to grow and thrive during, after, and long after the NFL Draft. We are preparing this city to welcome the world. And I am grateful that the NFL believes in our city's ability to host this moment and showcase who we are. Each milestone we've achieved tells a story of perseverance and heart. And as we turn the page, I know my administration has planted seeds that will grow into something extraordinary with time. Now, I want to close with gratitude to the city workers who show up every day, the operators of our plow and our IT infrastructure, the inspectors who keep our buildings safe, the officers, firefighters, and emergency responders who respond in our worst hours, the crews who clean our streets and staff our recreation centers, the people who review development plans, design traffic calming projects, and much more. To every city worker in this city, from the mayor to you, thank you. Thank you for all that you do for this city. You are the backbone of our city. To the community leaders, nonprofits, businesses, unions, and the countless neighbors who rolled up their sleeves and joined us, thank you. Thank you. To my family, especially my wife, the love of my life, Michelle, our anniversary is tomorrow. Who has been beside me every step of the journey. Baby, thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. To my staffs, rise up. Rise up. To my staff, rise up. Do not sit down. Do not sit down. To my former staff that's here, rise up. Stay standing. I want to say thank you for what we accomplished for the city. I couldn't have done it without you. The hard work, the late hours, the dedication. I'm so honored to call you my team. I am so honored of the work that you've done. And I could not have stopped this without making sure that you stand and receive the flowers that you rightfully deserve. Thank you. Listen. All right, y'all can sit down. This administration has accomplished in 4 years what others could not do in 8. We stood in the gap for our residents, protecting their safety, their opportunities, and their future. From revitalizing our neighborhoods to expanding opportunity for working families, we've proven that progress is possible when everyone has a seat at the table. I want to take the moment to thank the people. The heart of this city is our people. All of our people. Not individuals, all of our people. Whose resilience, faith, and determination has carried us through every dark night to a bright morning. To those who didn't believe in my administration, I thank you as well. Your doubt became a source of reflection and growth, pushing us to do better, to reach higher, and to serve more faithfully. I want to give love and say thank you to every neighborhood in this city. From the east to the west, to the north, to the south. I want to thank you for the love you've given me and for the love that my team poured out to you. I want to thank every person in this city. But there's a couple neighborhoods that I got to give some additional love to. I love the North Side. I love the North Side. I love the South Side. I love the West End, and I love the East. But here's some neighborhoods that I got to give some love to, because professionally and personally, you made me who I am today. To the HILL, the Hill District that embraced my family. To the Oakland community that birthed me. To East Liberty that raised me. To Homewood that educated me. To East Hills that received me. And to Garfield that moved me. To Highland Park that gave me my cup of coffee. To all the residents, we brought government to you because that's how you serve the people. It's not about just sitting behind a desk and putting your feet up, but it's about getting out there. Every decision, every program, every late night was about uplifting the people and about making sure that every voice is heard and neighborhoods feel seen. Pittsburgh, thank you. Thank you, Pittsburgh, for believing in my administration. Your journey to make a just, humane, and prosperous future for the children that come behind us. Thank you. Thank you for all that you've done. And it has been my deepest gratitude and honor to serve as your mayor, the first African mayor of the city of Pittsburgh. Together we have shown that when we lead with heart, fairness, and purpose, we can build a city that truly works for everyone. For everyone. So listen. Let us not return back to our old ways that may have felt comfortable for some, but held us back way too long. Instead, let us keep moving forward with courage, with vision, and an unwavering commitment to growth. That's what progress looks like. But it will take persistence and not perfection. And the seed that we planted, that I'm telling you in 20 years, you won't know by zip code who lives there. You won't know that certain communities have to live in poverty. We've made pathways into different communities to show them that they can access their government. And because you gave me this opportunity, we created a city for all. God bless you.
Thank you, Mayor Gainey, for your remarks. We're going to take a 10-minute recess. We will now resume our regular council meeting on Monday, November 10th, 2025. I failed to do so at the beginning of the meeting, so I just want to acknowledge the passing of our former colleague, Barbara Burns, and have a moment of silence. Thank you all. So our next order of business is to amend the agenda. Is there a motion to amend?
So move. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 The agenda has been amended. There are no proclamations today, so our next order of business is actually public comment. I would like to remind everyone that the rules of council state that comments are limited in matters of concern, official action, or deliberation, which may be before City Council. Profanity will not be permitted. Once you are called, please restate your name, provide your neighborhood for the record. You'll be given 3 minutes to speak. Our first registered speaker is Elena Zaitsov. And she is not online. Therefore, our next registered speaker is Dr. Ronald Lee Miller.
Dr. Ronald N. Miller, downtown, and Abuja, Nigeria. I am linked to the Nigerian Institute of Physics through my membership in the American Physical Society. Nigeria is not going to be invaded by the United States of America, in my view. Should not be. I'm a candidate for president 2028, Global Information Intelligence Network.net. Initiative 3 focuses on local, no-party governance. Council concern here is obviously with local governance, and I think, unfortunately, that it resembles the TV series Paradise. This is not, I think, Cinema Paradiso. That's a trumpet player speaking. A reference for the Democratic Party in my presentation is DP. On local Pittsburgh governance, which is similar to localities across the United States, some facts. Fact one, the DP mayor claimant, Mr. Gainey, the current one, not endorsed by the Pittsburgh DP for re-election, I think despicably undermining him, offered a budget for city government 2026, Pittsburgh livable paradise. Fact two, the outgoing DP mayor claimant offered a budget that the apparently incoming DP mayor claimant, who was not present in the council room, which I think showed a lack of courage, a lack of civility, and a lack of collegiality. He can shrug it off. Fact number three, the incoming DP mayor claimant, Mr. O'Connor, who walked away from a witnessed public Smithfield Street debate with me, 28 October 2025, he cannot verify, he cannot prove that he voted for himself for November 2025 because the non-elected Allegheny County Election Division forbids a citizen to check to determine if her or his vote has been misplaced, lost, or misapplied, wrongly listed. Mr. O'Connor cannot even prove that a single signature on the nomination papers which are necessary, according to the Allegheny County Election Division, to be part of their ballot, which I find anti-constitutional. None of them are legitimate because the DPRP established ACED requires no signature verification. Paradise? No, in my view, this is inferno.
Thank you. Our last registered speaker is Chris Morey, who I also do not see online or in public. That exhausts our list of registered speakers. If there's anyone else in chambers wishing to speak, please come forward at this time. I don't believe there's anyone else in chambers wishing to speak. Therefore, we turn to the presentation of papers, beginning with Councilman Charlin, Chair of Human Resources.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Good morning. Good afternoon. Now.
My apologies.
Oh, yeah. It just turned 12.
Councilperson Charlin presents Bill Number 2447, Resolution amending Resolution 93 of 2025, providing that the City of Pittsburgh enter into a professional services agreement and/or contracts with consultants and/or service providers for professional services in connection with civil service and MPO ETC required assessment and evaluation of public safety candidates and providing for the payment of the costs thereof. This will extend the term for 2 years and increase the not-to-exceed amount by $190,000 for a new not-to-exceed amount of $285,000.
And that takes us to Councilman Coghill, Chair of Public Safety and Wellness. He has no new papers. Councilwoman Gross, Chair of Innovation, Performance, Asset Management, and Technology.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Gross presents Bill Number 2448, Resolution amending Resolution 778 of 2024, authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Innovation and Performance on behalf of the City of Pittsburgh to enter into an agreement or agreements or amendments thereto with First Street Technology U.S., LLC, for a subscription to risk factor database for all data and hazard layers for all perils and all parcels in the City of Pittsburgh, enabling support of city departments in planning for weather-related hazards by increasing the approved amount by $240,000, cost not to exceed $285,000 over 5 years. Bill 2449, Resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Innovation and Performance on behalf of the City of Pittsburgh to enter into an agreement or agreements or amendments thereto with City Program, a division of BRANY, for HIPAA-protected information health training and other training for IMP staff, cost not to exceed $12,000 over 3 years.
And Councilman Mosley, Chair of Intergovernmental Educational Affairs.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilwoman Kell Smith, Chair of Recreation, Youth, and Senior Services.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Kell Smith presents Bill Number 2467, ordinance supplementing the Pittsburgh Code of Ordinances, Title IX, Zoning Code, Article 1, Introduction and Establishment, Chapter 902, Zoning Districts in general, at Section 90201, Establishment of Zoning Districts, by adding a new specially planned district at subsection 90201D2 to be identified as SP 13, West End Trolley Trail Accessory Parking District at Article 4, Planning Districts, Chapter 909, Planned Development Districts, Section 90901 SP, Specially Planned District, by creating a new district to be identified as SP 13, West End Trolley Trail Accessory Parking District, including rules and regulations, and by amending the City of Pittsburgh zoning map by changing accessory parking standards in UI and LNC to SP 13, West End Trolley Trail Accessory Parking District for property consisting of lots between Freewalt Street, the West End Trolley Trail Gateway along McCartney Street, Green Tree Road, and portions of Wharton Street, Woodville Avenue, McKnight Street, and Wabash Street, as further identified in the attached map and in more detail within the bill below, all located in the 20th Ward.
And Councilwoman Strasburger, Chair of Finance and Law.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilperson Strasburger presents Bill 2450, resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant in favor of Tatiana McCosco in an amount not to exceed $5,090 over 1 year in full and final settlement of a claim for damage to her property on Beechwood Boulevard from a failed city tree on July 11, 2024. Bill 2451, resolution authorizing the City of Pittsburgh to participate in applicable cooperative purchasing agreements for goods, materials, equipment, supplies, services, or construction as authorized by the Commonwealth Procurement Code and the Pennsylvania Intergovernmental Cooperation Law for the 2026 fiscal year. Bill 2452, resolution providing for the letting of contracts and for the use of existing contracts for the purchase of materials, supplies, and equipment for city departments and the maintenance, repair, rental, and/or leasing, rehabilitation, renovation, inspection, or servicing of city buildings and facilities, and for any miscellaneous services in and for any city departments, and providing for the payment of the cost thereof for the 2026 fiscal year. Bill 2453, resolution adopting and approving the 2026 capital budget, the proposed 2026 community development program, and the 2026 through 2031 capital improvement program. Bill 2454, resolution making appropriations to pay the expenses of conducting the public business of the City of Pittsburgh and for meeting the debt charges thereof for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2026. Bill 2455, resolution fixing the number of officers and employees of the City of Pittsburgh for the 2026 fiscal year and the rate of compensation thereof, and setting maximum levels for designated positions. Bill 2456, resolution authorizing City Council to approve intra-departmental transfers throughout the 2026 fiscal year. Bill 2457, resolution authorizing appropriations and salaries of the Stop the Violence Fund for the 2026 fiscal year beginning January 1, 2026. 2458, resolution authorizing appropriations, salaries, and capital expenditures of the Parks Trust Fund for the 2026 fiscal year beginning January 1, 2026. Bill 2459, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Office of Management and Budget to enter into an agreement or agreements with the Urban Redevelopment Authority of Pittsburgh for the administration of certain 2026 PAYGO-funded projects and programs, and providing for the payment of the cost thereof at a cost not to exceed $675,000. Bill 2460, resolution authorizing the city controller to accept updated financial system account strings and pay invoices for those contracts whose funding sources shifted from the Office of the Mayor into the Office of Equal Protection in the 2026 operating budget and 5-year plan. Bill 2461, ordinance amending the Pittsburgh Code Title II Fiscal, Article 7, Business-Related Taxes, Chapter 245, Earned Income Tax, Section 24503, Declaration and Payment of Tax, at subsection D, so as to fix the rate of interest on delinquent earned income tax for the year 2026. Bill 2462, resolution authorizing all city departments in conjunction with the Department of Finance to enter on behalf of the City of Pittsburgh into a facilities usage agreement or agreements during the 2026 calendar year for the purpose of permitting groups to rent city-owned facilities for recreational and community-focused activities in individual amounts not to exceed $10,000. Bill 2463, resolution authorizing a fee schedule for 2026 pursuant to Chapter 170 of the City Code. Bill 2464, resolution amending the Pittsburgh Code Title II Fiscal, Article 7, Business-Related Taxes, Chapter 246, Home Rule Tax, Section 24603, Declaration and Payment of Tax at subsection D so as to fix the rate of interest on delinquent home rule tax for the year 2026. Bill 2465, ordinance amending the Pittsburgh Code Title II Fiscal, Article 9, Property Taxes, Chapter 263, Real Property Tax and Exemptions, Section 26302, Payment Options, Discount and Delinquency Penalty, so as to set the payment discount and delinquent dates for the 2026 fiscal year. Bill 2466, ordinance amending the Pittsburgh Code Title II Fiscal, Article 9, Property Taxes, Chapter 263, Real Property Tax and Exemption, by fixing the rate of real estate taxation for 2026.
And Councilwoman Warwick, Chair of Public Works and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Warwick presents Bill number 2468, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure on behalf of the city of Pittsburgh to enter into an agreement or agreements with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation for purposes of inspecting all highway tunnels located on public roads that are fully or partially within the state's boundaries at no cost to the city. Bill 2469, resolution providing for an agreement or agreements with STV Inc. for costs associated with preliminary engineering for the Bloomfield Bridge project, providing for the payment of the cost thereof not to exceed $674,192.87, reimbursable at 100%.
And Councilman Wilson, Chair of Land Use and Economic Development.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilman Wilson presents Bill number 2470, resolution authorizing the mayor, the director of finance, and the director of the Office of Management and Budget to place a covenant upon Oliver Bath House as required by the Pennsylvania Historical and Museum Commission, which provided funds for the Oliver Bath House rehabilitation, and Bill 2471, resolution transferring the amount of $300,000 within the 2025 operating budget expenditures from the Department of Finance Debt Services interest to the Department of Public Works, Bureau of Facilities, Property Services, Maintenance for playground updates.
Council President. I'd like to make a motion to waive the Rule 8 so that 2471 appears on tomorrow's standing committee agenda.
Is there a second?
Second. Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Bill 2471 will be on Wednesday's standing committee agenda.
Oh, it's Wednesday, sorry.
No worries. I have two communications.
Council President Lavelle presents Bill 2472, communication from Jake Pollack, Director of the Office of Management and Budget, submitting to City Council the attached status update from the Grants Office for the week ended November 10, 2025, and Bill 2473, communication from Mayor Ed Gainey, submitting a notice of change to policy guidelines governing the Paid Sick Days Act dated November 5, 2025.
Need a motion to read, receive, and file?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The bills have read, received, and filed. Our next order of business is reports of committee for final action, beginning with Councilman Anthony Coghill, presenting the Committee of Public Safety and Wellness.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilman Coghill presents Bill Number 2442, reported to Committee on Public Safety and Wellness for November 3rd, 2025, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 2406, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Public Safety to enter on behalf of the city of Pittsburgh into an agreement or agreements with Allegheny County to receive funding for hazardous material incident response in the amount of $50,000 over 2 years.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Mosley.
Aye.
Mrs. Kell Smith.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
9 ayes, 0 noes.
Thank you. The bill, having received the legally required number of votes, is passed finally. That moves us to Councilwoman Barbara Ward, presenting the Committee of Public Works and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Warwick presents Bill Number 2443, reported to Committee on Public Works and Infrastructure for November 3rd, 2025, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 2410, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Public Works to enter into an agreement or agreements with Allegheny Cleanways in order for Allegheny Cleanways to lend cameras to the city of Pittsburgh to be utilized for monitoring and investigating illegal dumping in the city at no cost to the city. Bill 2411, resolution providing for a supplemental agreement or agreements with H.W. Lochner, Inc. for costs associated with the final design phase for the Pittsburgh City Steps project, providing for the payment of the cost thereof not to exceed $1,375,031.30, an increase of $705,180.52 from the previously executed agreement, reimbursable at 80%. Bill 2412, resolution providing for an amended reimbursement agreement or agreements with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation for costs associated with the preliminary engineering, final design, utility coordination, right-of-way, and construction phases of the Penn Avenue Phase 2 project, and providing for the payment of the cost thereof not to exceed $13,428,757.50, an increase of $1,153,757.50 from the previously executed agreement, reimbursable at 80% any municipal share of Commonwealth incurred costs not to exceed $68,400, an increase of $0 from the previously executed agreement. Bill 2413, resolution providing for an agreement or agreement with Gullisek Construction LLC for costs associated with the construction phase of the Penn Avenue Phase 2 project, providing for the payment of the cost thereof not to exceed $9,554,500.24, reimbursable at 80%. Bill 2432, resolution approving the recommendation made by the Director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure that the concrete portion of Mayfair in Wind Gap be paved with asphalt in accordance with Section 41706 of the Pittsburgh Code of Ordinances.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion? If none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Mosley.
Aye.
Mrs. Kell Smith.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
9 ayes, 0 noes.
The bill, having received the legally required number of votes, is passed finally. That moves us to Councilperson Robert Charlin, presenting the Committee of Human Resources.
Councilperson Charlin presents Bill Number 2444, reported at Committee on Human Resources for November 3rd, 2025, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 2359, ordinance amending and supplementing the Pittsburgh Code Title VI Conduct, Chapter 651, Findings and Policy, 653, Human Relations Commission, and Chapter 659, Unlawful Civil Rights Practices by simplifying language to offer clarity, defining terms specific to the enforcement of anti-discrimination provisions within the city code, and preserving the anti-discrimination enforcement power of the city in the wake of federal changes.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion? Councilwoman?
Do we
Councilwoman
have something
Smith?
from the law department, from our law department saying this was okay?
We,
Do you know?
Derogatory?
I know we had one before it was amended, but did we have one after it was amended? That's all I want to know.
Derogatory?
Do you mind?
interrogatory, Councilman Strasburger?
Yes, so a couple of things. One, the Commission on Human Relations staff and lawyer met directly with a member of the city's law department to work out the changes that were then introduced last week that we passed. They did produce a written memo that was then sent to all council members.
It was a legal opinion sent to us from our law
It was
department.
not a full opinion. It was,
Okay, I don't want to hold it up. I'll just abstain today. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? If none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland,
Aye.
Mr. Coghill,
Aye.
Ms. Gross,
Aye.
Mr. Mosley,
Aye.
Mrs. Kill Smith,
Abstain.
Mrs. Strasburger,
aye.
Mrs. Warwick,
Aye.
Mr. Wilson,
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
8 ayes, 0 noes, 1 abstention.
Thank you. The bill having received the legally required number of votes is passed finally. That moves us to Councilwoman Deborah Gross, presenting the Committee of Innovation, Performance, Asset Management, and Technology.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilwoman Gross presents Bill Number 2445, reported to Committee on Innovation, Performance, Asset Management, and Technology for November 3rd, 2025, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 2407, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of public safety to enter on behalf of the city of Pittsburgh into a sublicense agreement or agreements with the Pennsylvania State Police to allow public safety personnel to utilize traffic and criminal software at no cost to the city.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland,
Aye.
Mr. Coghill,
Aye.
Ms. Gross,
Aye.
Mr. Mosley,
Aye.
Mrs. Kill Smith,
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger,
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick,
Aye.
Mr. Wilson,
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
9 ayes, 0 noes.
The bill having received the legally required numbers of votes is passed finally. And finally is Councilman Kari Mosley, presenting the Committee of Intergovernmental Educational Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilman Mosley presents Bill Number 2446, reported to Committee on Intergovernmental and Educational Affairs for November 3rd, 2025, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 2408, resolution providing for the execution of a cooperation agreement or agreement with the Urban Redevelopment Authority of Pittsburgh for the performance of certain work in connection with the 2025-2026 Community Development Block Grant Program and providing for the payment of the cost thereof not to exceed $5,775,000 for all council districts. And Bill 2409, resolution amending Resolution 298 of 2025, providing for a reimbursement agreement or agreement with Pittsburgh Water for costs associated with the Penn Avenue Phase 2 project, where Pittsburgh Water will be responsible for paying 100% of the actual expenses involved in certain work to be described in the agreement, and an amount not to exceed $227,520, and further amending Resolution 924 of 2024, effective December 18, 2024, entitled Resolution Adopting and Approving the 2025 Capital Budget, the proposed 2025 Community Development Program, and the 2025 through 2030 Capital Improvement Program by increasing Penn Avenue Phase 2 by $227,520.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland,
Aye.
Mr. Coghill,
Aye.
Ms. Gross,
Aye.
Mr. Mosley,
Aye.
Mrs. Kill Smith,
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger,
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick,
Aye.
Mr. Wilson,
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
9 ayes, 0 noes.
Thank you. The bill having received the legally required number of votes is passed finally. That moves us to motions and resolutions. Is there anything from members?
I just want to remind everyone that on Wednesday, we have the meeting with the Pirates for the council members, and it starts at 9 a.m. in the conference room, so I hope that everyone will be here at 9 a.m., and if I'm not, I'm hoping you start the meeting.
Okay. Anything else from members? If not, we have a number of meeting announcements. This afternoon at 2 o'clock, council will hold a Cablecast post-agenda discussion on the comprehensive plan, which will be chaired by myself. Then on Wednesday, November 12th at 10 a.m., council will hold our standing committee meeting. Speaker registration will close at 9 a.m. the morning of. And then also on Wednesday, we will begin our 2026 budget process, beginning with an overview and discussion at 1:30. And then on Thursday, November 13th at 10 a.m., council will hold budget hearings for the Department of City Planning, Permits, Licensing, and Inspection, chaired by Councilman Wilson. Then on Thursday afternoon at 1:30, council will hold budget hearings for the Department of Finance and Law, chaired by Councilwoman Strasburger. Then on Friday, November 14th at 10 a.m., council will hold budget hearings for the Department of Human Resources, for the Commission on Human Relations, chaired by Councilperson Charlton. And then lastly, in observance of Veteran Day, tomorrow, the 11th, all council and clerk's office will be closed. We want to thank them for all their service. If there's nothing else, motion to approve the minutes and adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.